Is Thursday, and I just feel I can't catch a break. I feel like I'm so busy. I plan everything and schedule everything and block time out for everything. And it's just, I feel like things just keep coming up. I digress. So, busy week. I was traveling. I went back home for a couple days, the July weekend, and to celebrate my birthday with family. Got back this week, and work's been busy. Life's been busy. I'm catching up on some projects. Didn't help that the hard drive had everything in it, so now I had to reshoot a couple pieces of content, which is fine, totally fine. It's just I feel like my to-do list just keeps growing. Anyways, being home was great. My birthday was amazing. I am actually going to be celebrating the rest of July because I can. I turned 29. I can't believe I'm in the last year of my 20s. It is crazy to even think that. So, quick update, I am finishing up week 2 of The Artist Way, and it's been fun reconnecting with my old creative self. And while I was back home, I could not stop thinking about the composition books, the journals that I kept when I was younger, and I was lucky enough to find 2 of my journals. And they happen to be, one is more of like a thoughts journal, and then the other one is like, I'll call it an art journal because it kind of has a little bit of everything. So I wanted to share a little bit of old Giselle, the Giselle I'm trying to get back to. I had these 2 notebooks. I really wanted to find my old composition book because that composition book was the start of everything, and I could not find it. We went through a remodel a couple years back, so everything was in boxes and misplaced. So lucky enough that I found these 2 journals, and this was probably mostly high school. So I think this was my first one. And this one to me was more of a quotes journal. I loved reading words, so poems, quotes people had said, even like anonymous ones. I was on Pinterest. I was scrolling through Pinterest for these quotes, and my home tab would just keep showing me these quotes. So I would write down my favorite ones. Just looking back through everything, it was, I don't even know how to describe myself. Very in the clouds. Big dreams, definitely an old romantic. Cheesy. Very cheesy. It was also when Tumblr was super in. Tumblr was a thing, and I loved Tumblr. It was like Instagram, but a more of a blog. I don't even know. I think it was. That's how I would describe it. Anyways, I'm just flipping through it. There was this book that I read when I was in middle school, and I think it was called The Fact of Life, some number I can't remember. So this is where this journal came from. I wrote down my quotes, and I would just create a random number for this quote. It was not numerical. This was completely random. It's how the main character in The Fact of Life wrote her journal too. So I can't. I was so cheesy. It's like an old romance. Oh, I was so cheesy. Okay, here's number 665. This is from a creator, poet, writer named I Am Brilliant. And instead of brilliant, it's brilliant with a Y. Weird. I don't know. I definitely got this off of Pinterest. The quote is, "Her vibe is attractive. People think she's stuck in her own little world, But I like the fact that all she cares about is her own happiness. I'm telling you, it's so cheesy. And then I have another, I think this was a poet, Charles Bukowski. The people look like flowers at last. A love that was a serious illness, an illness from which you can never entirely recover. I was a romantic. Still am, but I don't know. I will always be a romantic at heart. I also included bucket list items. So I hashtag the bucket list Earth, Texas. Don't remember why I put that down. I did little drawings, calligraphy. I started getting into calligraphy. Was very bad at it. Little doodles. That was a flower. Flowers for me were easier to draw, so I would draw those. This was my quotes notebook. It was pretty freaking awesome. I was big into electronic music. That started becoming popular probably my junior, senior high school. Everyone was going to raves and I wanted to go to a rave. But I had very strict parents and I was, I wouldn't say a straight A student, but my grades were decent, you know. They were great. There was this, I think it's a rave. It's sort of like, I would compare it to EDC, which was also a big thing when I was in high school. And there was this festival, an electronic music festival I really wanted to go to. And it was called the Electric Forest. So you guys look this up. It was pretty dang cool. It's somewhere up north where there's a lot of trees. And I think, if I remember correctly, they decorated the whole forest with neon lights. And you would do your electronic music festival there. It seemed pretty cool. Oh, I did write it. It's in Rothbury, Michigan, in the Sherwood Forest. And then I wrote a note to myself on November 29, 2014. When are we going? This was my quotes notebook. This was my favorite notebook. This is what I would call my art journal. So it's a mix of quotes, a junk journal, and then some paintings, mini paintings that I would do. I collected fortune cookie papers, and then I hashtagged it wisdom from a fortune cookie. I loved my hashtags. There's a lot of quotes in here. Here's a abstract painting that I did. Super neat. That was back in 2017. Oh, I was obsessed with pineapples, so naturally, I had to. Watercolor was a thing. It was a big thing for me. What else is in here? I feel like there was one thing that I wanted. So, my name. This actually came out really good. I actually really like how this turned out. I was big into abstract just because I loved colors. So I was always mixing colors and doing acrylic, and I think I did a little bit of oil because I found some. So when I was younger, one of our family friends had gifted me an artist studio, and with the artist studio, it came with the easel, I think it was two canvases or one, and then a set of paints. So I think there was a set of oil paints and acrylic. And I think watercolor, I can't remember, but it was sitting in the back of my closet for the longest time. I had no idea why my parents wouldn't let me open it. I think they were waiting for something, waiting until I got to a certain age. Anyways, I absolutely, end of high school, beginning of undergrad, I was just like, I'm just going to open this because it's just been sitting there in my closet not being used. So I took all my paints from there, and that's kind of when the art journal started. I loved collecting postcards. I still do. I just, I kind of stopped for a little bit because I didn't know what to do with them. Oh, this is what I had wanted. So poetry was something that I loved reading. And I can't remember what type of poetry this is. It's type poetry. Blackout poetry? I don't know. But this one, it's a little hard to read, but it says, her eyes glowed. There was beauty in her wanderlust. That was the poem I made out of, it was a page from a book. And I'm pretty sure I learned this in high school. One of my AP English teachers, I think, taught this to us. And you just black out almost the whole page if you want to, and you just pick and choose words, and that's how you would come up with your poem. So that was one of them that I did, and I was very happy with it. I think I did another one, but I can't find it right now. But there was one thing, and it's so crazy that I came across this one. I loved the beach. I still do. I love the beach, and growing up, it was a dream of mine to get a place by the beach. And here I am in Hermosa Beach, only a block or two from the beach, and yeah, that is my backyard. So this is a junk journal spread that I did. And it's about the sea. She loved the sea. She liked the sharp, salty smell of the air and the vastness of the horizons, bounded only by a vault of azure sky above. It made her feel small, but free as well. George R.R. Martin. It has pretty much everything that I loved about the beach. So sunsets, the seagulls. I've always wanted to do a bonfire by the beach. I loved, mostly it was the sunsets, palm trees against the sunset sky, and just looking out at the ocean waves. So that was me getting in touch with my creative side, and I'm so glad that I came across these notebooks. That was how my week 2 is going of the artist way, and I am always looking forward to the week ahead. That's it for now. Bye.